Hey guys, welcome to the second video, part 2 of a tutorial series on how to use the Linux desktop. We're going to look at a couple of things today. This will be a short video, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. You'll definitely get something out of it. I'm going to just take a look at a couple of the things that you're going to want to be doing with your Linux desktop as I delete my trash here, don't mind me, to just make things more usable. So we go to the Start menu today to start up, and I'm going to type in the word default, and I come up to an application called Preferred Applications, which I'm going to load up here for you. You'll always need to pick preferred applications, and if you install some, you're going to find that you're going to want to change this, and it's really, really simple to do. Right? As you can see here on the top of the list is a file manager. We have several. We have one called Files. This is Nemo in Linux Mint. Right, is what it comes installed normally, and Nemo looks like this here. Just pop this thing up. This is Nemo. It's a graphical file manager. Works very well. It also has a feature that is just wonderful, which is called, you go to the view here, and you can have dual panes on this thing, which is awesome. Right, this is great when you're trying to drag and drop things around. It just makes life much, much easier. But I'm not myself. I prefer the graphical file manager, which is VIFM, which is this right here. This is a little bit harder to work with, right? You're going to be, this revolves greatly around the use of the keyboard. And the use of the keyboard is just not for everybody. At some point in time, I'm going to do a video on using this for those of you who are using who are into using the desktop. Right, but again, you're automatically not using the desktop. Sorry, you're automatically here with a dual pane view, and it's a terminal environment. The next thing we have down is obviously to pick your web browser. Very simple as far as that goes. Your mail program. Now I'm using Thunderbird. Documents. Well, I need them open in LibreOffice because that's what is installed. My text editor. Now I have two text editors. This is true text editors. There's 4 listed here, but LibreOffice is a lousy text editor, and so is gvim. I don't even like graphical version of Vim. I use Vim. Now, the text editor, the graphical text editor is this one here that I use. It's called gedit, and it's pretty good. Take a second to load up here. There we go, gedit. I have it set for a dark background, but it is the typical text editor for typical type of thing you're used to, right? You use the arrow keys to try to get around. It's quite natural. Now, as far as the default text editor goes, I use one called Vim or VI. I'm just going to load up here in the shell to be easier here. And this is a terminal-based editor, and it works completely differently than what you'd be used to. And this one has a high learning curve, but it's well worth it, especially if you start to do work in the terminal, because most people who are afraid of the terminal end up loving the terminal at some point in time, which is always kind of funny when you think about it. Now we're going to go back here to preferred links, and then we have what plays your music. You've obviously got choices there: your media player, your photos, source code viewer. Well, that's going to end up being Vim whether you like it or not, pretty much. What you use for PDFs, what your favorite terminal program is. Now, I use the default terminal. I also have one called Terminator, which I was using for quite a while, but I've come to prefer the default one that comes with it. It's just a little bit simpler for me. This one has some really nice perks as well, but there are other things. I just prefer the other one at this point in time. I will uninstall this eventually, but I guess it's kind of nice to have a backup of it. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you before we finish this video is part of the keyboard controls, if you will. Right? You can set sensitivity and all that, but this is the shortcuts, and this is something you may want to do. Now, I have many shortcuts here that are set with different keys. So as an example, if I want to load up Discord, it's all Control D. Key pass, which we did a video on the other day, super key or the Windows key, and K. SSR, which is the program I use to record this, OpenVPN, and you can set those all up. Plus, there are a whole bunch of general ones that come pre-configured for you, which you can change as well. Hotkeys are wonderful. Right? Once you get used to using hotkeys, it sure is. It's so much faster than trying to find the program and click on it. Right? I know you will get to appreciate that enormously as time goes on. Anyways, that's it today for today's video, guys. I promised a short one, and we will be back tomorrow with another video on privacy, safety, and using Linux. Have a great day. Ciao.